In the enormous field of human sexuality and self-improvement, there is an idea that has piqued the interest of those who are looking to develop a more profound connection with their own bodies, and possibly with other people. Semen retention is a mysterious practice. Some people believe that it can lead to increased energy, mental clarity, and even the potential to attract another person of the opposite sex. It is necessary to first investigate the historical backdrop of the topic in order to gain an understanding of the current preoccupation with semen retention and the potential impact it may have on female desire. It is possible to trace practices that are comparable to semen retention all the way back to ancient Eastern traditions like as Tantra and Taoism. In these traditions, it was believed that the preservation of vital energy was essential for both spiritual enlightenment and bodily well-being. Within the context of these traditions, sperm was seen to be a valuable life energy that, if preserved, had the potential to be transformed into heightened consciousness and improved vigor. On the other hand, as society progressed, attitudes towards sexuality and the human body also changed together. Several of these historical activities have been deemed unacceptable or even wicked as a result of the advent of organized religions, which have cast a shadow over them. Consequently, the once revered teachings on semen retention were eclipsed by cultural conventions, which resulted in their remaining dormant for centuries until the upsurge of interest in recent times. In the modern world, there has been a resurgence in the practice of semen retention, which has been spurred in part by an increasing interest in holistic well-being and alternative methods of approaching health. Semen retention proponents assert that there are a multitude of advantages, ranging from increased levels of energy and improved focus to increased levels of self-confidence and an enhanced aura of attractiveness. In order to preserve and reroute the life force that is linked with sperm, the fundamental principle of semen retention is to refrain from ejaculating. This can be accomplished through abstinence or through controlled behaviors. Those who advocate for this practice contend that it has the potential to bring about a state of equilibrium and harmony inside the body, which in turn promotes overall wellness and a heightened appeal to individuals of the opposite sex. There is a deep connection between semen retention and female attraction. The argument that refraining from ejaculating can have a favorable effect on one's attractiveness to the opposite sex is at the core of the curiosity that surrounds the retention of sperm. On the other hand, does this assertion have any validity in scientific research? Does the act of withholding sperm have the potential to change a person into a magnetic force, particularly one that attracts the attention and interest of those who are female? There is a dearth of research on this particular junction of sperm retention and female attractiveness, and the studies that have been conducted so far sometimes lack the rigorous procedures that are necessary for providing solid data. However, it is possible that certain characteristics of the sperm itself could shed some light on the assertions that proponents of this treatment have made. Among the components that make up sperm, enzymes, proteins, and hormones are also included in the composition of sperm. Those who advocate for the retention of sperm argue that the preservation of this powerful mixture of biological elements can result in an increase in testosterone levels. Testosterone is a hormone that is associated with masculine qualities and attributes. They believe that increased testosterone levels may be a factor in increased self-assurance, assertiveness, and physical attractiveness. Researchers are still debating whether or not there is a direct connection between increasing testosterone levels and the retention of sperm, despite the fact that it is well known that testosterone plays a significant part in determining secondary sexual traits and behavior. As a result of extended abstention from ejaculating, some research have found that there is a temporary increase in testosterone levels, while other studies have found that there is no meaningful influence. The proponents of semen retention frequently delve into the world of metaphysics, stating that the energy that is gathered by this technique can emit a unique vibrational frequency that attracts others, particularly those of the opposite sex. This is in addition to the physiological perspective. On the other hand, these assertions are primarily based on anecdotes and do not have any empirical backing. Like any other unorthodox practice, semen retention is met with a certain amount of skepticism and criticism from individuals. From a scientific point of view, the assertions that semen retention can lead to increased attractiveness are met with skepticism from researchers, who stress the importance of having sufficient empirical proof. Those who are skeptical about the benefits of semen retention suggest that the reported benefits may have their origins more in the placebo effect or psychological factors than in any physiological changes that may have occurred. It is possible that the psychological influence of adopting a technique that is perceived to enhance attractiveness could lead individuals to feel more confident, positive, and self-assured, which would contribute to the observed changes in behavior and social interactions. Furthermore, there is a significant knowledge vacuum because there are no studies that have been conducted that are well designed and controlled to investigate the connection between the retention of sperm and the attraction of females. When there is a lack of convincing scientific proof, it becomes difficult to differentiate between the true benefits of semen retention and the placebo response or other variables that could potentially cause confusion. The scientific world is currently waiting for further in-depth study to be conducted on the connection between the retention of sperm and the attraction of females. However, it is crucial to take into consideration the function that confidence and mindset play in the whole equation. Confidence has been around for a long time and has been recognized as an essential component of attractiveness. People who are self-assured are frequently perceived as being more charming and appealing. The preservation of vital energy leads to a more forceful and self-assured demeanor, according to proponents of the practice of sperm retention, who say that the technique contributes to enhanced confidence. This is consistent with broader psychological ideas that imply that adopting positive beliefs about oneself can impact behavior and the way people interact with one another at social gatherings. According to this point of view, the allure that is linked with semen retention might not be entirely attributed to the physiological changes that occur, but rather to the psychological transformations that individuals experience when they engage in this practice. It is possible that the act of intentionally deciding to keep one's sperm could inculcate a sense of self-control, self-discipline, and self-mastery, all of which may lead to an enhanced aura of attractiveness. The intrinsic heterogeneity that exists between individuals is another issue that makes it difficult to provide an accurate assessment of the impact that semen retention has on female attractiveness. A person's sexuality is the product of a complex interaction of biological, psychological, and social factors. Hence, the strategies that are successful for one individual might not necessarily produce the same outcomes for another. People who engage in the practice of semen retention may have experiences that are distinct from those of other people because of their pre-existing beliefs, attitudes toward sexuality, and various personal aims. The subjective character of these experiences can be further shaped by factors such as cultural background, upbringing, and social context. As a result, it is difficult to make universal conclusions regarding the benefits that the technique has on attractiveness. When it comes to the pursuit of self-improvement and better attractiveness, the topic of semen retention is one that presents itself as both fascinating and contentious. The absence of substantial scientific data renders the alleged benefits of this practice essentially unknown, despite the fact that its historical roots in ancient traditions provided an aura of mysticism at the same time. In order to successfully navigate the waters of semen retention and its potential impact on female attractiveness, it is essential to approach the topic with a balanced perspective. We are able to grasp the complexity of human sexuality when we acknowledge the historical backdrop, take into consideration the biological components, and acknowledge the role that confidence and mindset play. Thanks for watching.